Hiya, I'm going to be covering something. I'm going to be covering something that happened during the public mourning of our Queen, Queen Elizabeth. Now, during the public mourning process, people were queuing up to pay their last respects out in London. People are travelling as far as Dubai to come and see the Queen and pay respects, and where possible get close to the casket. And by and large, the general public are extremely respectful, which is great because the general public doesn't generally have a good repertoire of self-respect, let alone respect towards others or worldly respect. So the world actually done pretty damn good. Came up good at this point. Now, it was actually seen that two people queue skipped. It was very much visibly seen by cameras and video cameras that obviously make TV quality video. It was pretty much banged to rights actually. Now, the thing is, the two people are known as Philip Schofield and Ollie Willoughby. It looked extremely disrespectful actually. It looked absolutely awful. It looked absolutely dire to be fair. But anyway, they were caught by camera, caught by people, skipping the queue, and people were not happy, and quite rightly so. In the days following, Phil and Holly and Arantes, let's put it that way. Holly's got herself a lawyer, and to get law advice, and most likely just chuck a lot of cease and desists at various media outlets and social media channels. That's probably her intent. And the thing is, if it's banged to rights, there's not very much the lawyer's going to actually do to help the situation. Maybe chuck a few cease and desists here and there, but ultimately, cease and desist letters do not just exist carte blanche. It's got to be assessed by a lawyer to see how meriting the situation is, and also filter out the riffraff where where one side hasn't been as good as the other is, in a sense one side has been as bad as the other, so automatically it gets cancelled. But anyway, I don't really know what will happen with regards to that. I know one thing for sure, a lot of people have been baying for their job, wanting Holly and Phil to be kicked out. Normally, queue skipping is not an offence that big and grave enough to get you kicked out of a job, but when they did it at a site of national mourning for the Queen, and clearly quite carte blanche doing it, so that switches the tables a wee bit, and it does make it sound a wee bit more plausible to sack them. Holly made a kind of speech about it. At first it was, "We didn't skip the queue, full stop." And then she made a longer one where she said, "Oh, I can see where it looks really bad, but we didn't mean anything bad of it." Still not addressing the queue skipping scenario. They're not malice characters, to my knowledge. They don't do malice, but that was quite a disrespectful move, and got caught by thousands of cameras and video cameras for TV. So, if we're going to do something that public and make a complete arse of himself, quite frankly, maybe opens the door to talking about either discipline or sacking or suspension, because this is meant to be national mourning, not national skip the queue. It's national mourning. It was designed to have the biggest amount of decorum around it, where these two just skip the queue. Conversely, on Phil's side of things, right, and as I was reading a news article today at work, when it was quoted in the newspaper about what was done, Phil quoted, "We're too important for queues." So basically, Holly's trying her best at damage repair, admitting to some of her flaws and faux pas, and he turns around and goes, we're too famous for queues," or whatever the thing was. We're too famous for queues. So basically, he's undermining her half-arse attempts. I'm just going to call it half-arse attempts at addressing the issue and looking to seek repair for it. And then there's Phil on the other hand just going, we're too famous for queues, we don't need them. And I know he might have been trying to say and do it under tense and verbatim of comedy. No, that went down like a lead balloon. That went down like cold sick. That was silly, and to be honest, I could understand where people were actually wanting them to be sacked because they did something. Let's say they arsed up in public big time in front of thousands of cameras, millions of viewers. It's a faux pas you can't exactly walk away from, to be fair. Now, Phil, when, as I said, when she's trying to, quieten things down and, get things back in order so they can do this morning, he's sitting there going, we're too high up for queues, we don't need them, right? That is ridiculous. These two are not Malice characters. So you see them on This Morning, you see a big massive wheel where people gain money, you see them acting kind of camping handy dandy kind of thing. Not a problem there. I do not believe they have malice. But what they did by Q-skitting was directly disrespectful. It doesn't matter what you think of the monarchy, seeing them Q-skit was just absolutely gag-worthy. And then listening to Phil's rationale, we're too important for queues, and her on the first tense, we did not skip the queue, full stop, and that was it. And then she did have a word to the public saying, I know it looked bad, I'm really bad, I'm really sorry, it looked bad that way. It looked bad that way because it was bad that way. You've got to own your shit, Holly and Phil. Right? Yous have ought to bloody own up for your shit instead of hiding behind cliches and campness and idiocracy. You've got to fucking own your shit, then hopefully move on from it. The more you can hide behind the curtains, the more the being mob appears. And I can understand why the public don't want them on This Morning because they're a bad example. Because at the minute the narrative is, if you skip the queue, nothing happens. Well, see, I come from Scotland, right? Glasgow specifically, and up in Glasgow, if you queue skip someone, you're going to get a fucking sore face. Glasgow and Scotland do not put up with queue skippers. They verbally and physically address the matter. Holly and Phil should count themselves lucky that one, they didn't get arrested, or two, some mad hackney Raj didn't turn around and belt a cunt in. That's just the way it goes, in Scotland, but yeah, I think, to be honest, Saka is actually very, very least in their line of concerns, to be honest. They made a complete whoopsie of it, and that's all I can say on that. There's absolutely no journalist out there that's willing to stand their corner for it. Who's getting up in Scotland, it gets dealt with physically. As in, if you skip the queue for something, someone's going to put it out and put you to the floor, or kick your head in or something like that. But anyway, yeah, it's not a good day when people are embarrassing themselves that much in public view. Anywho, I'm finished.